All right, welcome back to the Seven Figure Annuity Sales Podcast. And for those of you that are hearing my voice and rolling your eyes, you're in for a treat today because we've got the man, the myth, the legend on with us. Chad is here.
Yeah,
He's
man, the
alive
myth,
and
the legend.
he's at least
They're
alive. We're not sure how well,
yeah.
but he's alive.
Well, in doing these podcasts, I should be able to start back up again. We should be moving into our house within a week or so. But what I just went through this morning trying to remember how to do these podcasts
Yeah.
on my computer. They say, you never forget how to ride a bike. That's true, but sometimes the seat's missing.
Yeah. Oh, man. Real
It's like
uncomfortable.
real uncomfortable because you're getting back in the groove. And I still have been running appointments, still have been trying to get business. It's been all right.
Yeah.
The one thing I tell people all the time is when your mind, this is why it's so important to get the right mindset in business, because all this junk I'm going through is like way tougher because you're having to keep your mind in the game.
Yep.
And I'm very particular on making sure I'm doing everything right for my client. So if my mind's not in the game, it's really hard to keep the sales up. I don't know, Caleb, you know this. I did pass 20 million in written business. I think
That seems
you would
correct.
know that. Yeah.
That
And
seems correct.
yeah. But the thing is, there's a lot of challenging cases to get them issued. And like one person was a done deal. And I called him and he goes, yeah, things have changed. He goes, my wife and I are getting a divorce. And, yeah,
Man.
just like that. And another lady up in Wyoming, I mean, everything was perfect. And then we're using 1.25% fee for the writer. And her husband wanted her to find something with a lower fee. And so I tried calling. I've called probably 30 times. I think it's time to pull out Kixie.
Yeah.
And Andrew told me there's a way you can do that on your actual phone where you can have, because I already have 2 lines going into my phone, but
Right.
there's supposed to be an app where you can add 2 more.
There
So
probably is.
I'm gonna figure that out. I'm gonna call him. Who would have thought I'd be asking Andrew for
Yeah.
tech support? So yeah,
Tech support, no, but the guy can call like
yeah.
a machine.
So we have people that have mismanaged our money building the house. We have people that stole from us from the tile company, not the tile installers where we bought the tile. And then he died 2 days ago. And then about a week and a half ago, my appointment setter slipped and hit her jaw and literally had to have metal in her jaw. It was actually 2.5 weeks ago. And she calls me kind of crying and she's going, I'm so sorry. I can't make calls. I'll try and do it tomorrow. And I'm like, you just had metal in your jaw. And she did. She started calling the next day. But then on
Golly.
Monday, I got a call from her and she had to have more surgery and she's still not doing good. So it has been the toughest time ever.
Yeah.
And to still write 20 million, I'm calling that a success.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
this is and I'm not done yet. I
Right.
still have some big deals working on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Lee, but
it's
you mentioned keeping your head in it, and I got to
mm-hmm,
imagine that's about as tough as it gets.
mm-hmm,
You look at the military even and what they
mm-hmm,
do. I mean, I had a cousin that he was a Marine, and he did basic obviously, but then he was at 29 Palms and did the Crucible and all this stuff, and it's like he swears that they just try to break your mind. He says they
yeah,
use your body and the circumstances of what your body
mm-hmm,
is going through to see how weak is your mind.
yeah,
And your body's capable of taking way more than your mind wants to think it is,
yeah, for
right? And
sure.
so they're trying to find where is that breaking point for this person, and those that just don't break, they end up making it, and those that do, along the way, they end up dropping out. But it's got to
Well,
be
and
something similar to that.
yeah, it is like that because your mental game is going, wanting to do the best for your clients, keeping up with products, doing pending business, making your calls, doing all that. I mean, there's 4 weeks or 5 weeks I couldn't make calls. I
Yeah.
thank God I had an appointment setter and I have someone that follows up on my leads that are 2 months or older. And if it wasn't for them, that wouldn't
Yeah.
have been it. And I know for a fact there were 2 deals I lost because I just was not in the game in the appointment. And I mean, I tripped over my cord. I broke my cord. My computer was out of battery, so I couldn't get the application going. And I'm just like, this is a $700,000 deal and I'm losing it. And
Yep.
sure enough, they said they went with someone else. I've had that happen 3 times in the past 4 months. I've had 3 different people tell me they went with someone else. And that is not a normal thing.
Yeah.
So that tells me I really need to get my mind in the game. But then on top of that, I'm physically doing a ton of stuff at the house. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we moved like 30 loads of trash cans into the dumpster, and each of those things are weighing, 50 to 100 pounds.
Right.
And then today, after this, I'm going to pressure wash the driveway and still do all, not the driveway, the garages.
The garage.
And so when you look, and you know what I'm talking about, those garages, I mean, that one garage is like a 6-car garage.
Yep.
And and then that we have the top garage, which is 2.5 car. And I'm just like, Lord, mercy, mercy. I need some help.
Well,
So,
there's 2 things there I wanted to press into for a couple minutes. Number one
mm-hmm,
was you're using an appointment setter, which has historically been something that you've been pretty apprehensive about, because and
yeah,
rightfully so. I mean, your
mm-hmm,
logic in it makes sense. And I've told agents this before, right? It's like, I'll get the question, oh, does Chad use an appointment setter? And historically it's been a no, Chad doesn't
mm-hmm,
use an appointment setter.
mm-hmm,
And it's not because the appointment setter costs too much. It's the opportunity cost if they don't book an
yeah,
appointment that Chad could. Right. So
yeah,
if they miss booking an appointment with a potential $1 million deal, and you could have gotten that and then gotten the
mm-hmm,
sale, that's a $75,000 hit. So
yeah.
it's the cost of opportunity. But you're using one, and it seems like it's being relatively successful for you right now.
Yeah, it is, because I get way more face-to-face appointments than she does. But she gets opportunities where someone who might not want to meet just gets a phone call with me. And most of the time they show up for the phone call and then I get an appointment.
Okay.
And sometimes it's a Zoom, sometimes it's a face-to-face. But about half my appointments, if not more now, are Zoom.
Yeah.
It's so strange how that's working now. And same with my appointment setter, that it's 2 months or older. He calls the leads, and he's calling leads that are a year old. He just got
Right.
me an appointment a little while ago. 8 months ago was the last. No, this one was a year and 2 months ago, and it looks like it's probably going to be a $600,000 or $700,000 deal. Like, I met with him, he decided he didn't want to go with it. Then he bought an annuity. And no, I'm sorry, it was 3 years ago, because it just made 3 years. He
Wow.
bought an annuity that he regrets. He bought one from me and one from the other guy, and mine has outperformed the other one. And he's
Yep.
like, I need to get out of this. And that never would have happened without the second appointment setter.
Right.
So, you are right. I look at the one person cost me $35 a lead and $30 for an appointment. So any lead I get, I have to pay $35 for. But if she gets an appointment, it's $30. So it actually pans out really well, because most of the deals I actually get to meet with, I get a deal, because
Right.
I can explain in a way that they go, wow, I really want this.
Yeah.
And then the other one, I just give a 0.5% of my commission, which has actually panned out pretty good for him, because
Yeah.
we've gotten close to $1 million in deals from him just making extra calls.
Yep.
So yeah, the appointment setter is hard, because I know for a fact there's deals she doesn't get that I could have gotten.
Right.
I know that, but I actually hired her about a month before all this stuff started happening with the house. So it was such a godsend, because
Yeah. The
now
timing of
the
that.
times I'm just, yeah, it was perfect. Same with Andrew too. The one that
Right.
calls it was about 3 weeks before.
Wow.
So I'm going to tell people now, I think appointment setters are worth it. Um, it's still, you're going to have some slip through.
Right.
that you normally would have got the appointment. But for me, it's well worth it.
Yeah,
I
I think
usually have a pretty full calendar now.
right. And I was going to say, I think your situation is a little bit of an anomaly because number one, you are an expert caller. Like you are a
Hmm.
fantastic appointment setter in your own right.
Hmm.
Obviously, a great, agent and running appointments and fact finding and
Hmm.
closing and, writing the business. But I think probably most agents aren't maybe as good at calling leads as you are. And subsequently, a lot of appointment setters might actually be better at getting appointments than the agent is.
That
And
is
so there
true.
might be a deal for some agents where just based on skill set, it makes a lot of sense for them to do that. The other thing I've thought about for you is what makes a lot of sense for you to have an appointment setter is how many days of the week you're running appointments and
Hmm.
not able to call leads. So I was wondering if
Hmm.
having an appointment setter has that reduced your lead rot, do you think?
Oh, for sure, because she'll call. That lead comes in. That lead gets 3 calls. It gets a call as soon as it comes in, and then
Wow.
2 more times that day, and then the next day, and then the next day, and then the next day. She calls every day for a week,
Wow.
and so yeah, absolutely 100%. Lead rot is a very rare thing now with me. So I would definitely say even that's a good point, because even though I could get in with people and get appointments on a Monday,
Hmm.
there's people that I would call and they say, "Oh, I already took care of it."
Right.
And where she's getting to them right away. So maybe I'm getting more appointments than I would.
Right.
So
It's probably
yeah,
at least offsetting. So it kind of, to
yeah.
me, it seems like there's kind of two individuals you might want to look for. If you're an agent, kind of assess your situation and see, are you kind of poor on the phones? If you don't have a great phone process, you're not good at booking appointments yourself, that
Hmm.
might be a situation where you'd want to have an appointment setter. Or if you're an agent that's writing a ton of business and you're
Hmm.
running a lot of appointments during the week and you're having to wait days on end to call your new leads, that's
Hmm.
probably another instance where it would be worthwhile to have an appointment setter. But if you're good on
Yeah.
the phones and you're not busy with appointments, that's probably a situation where you would not want to have an appointment setter. So it's kind of
Well,
feeling it out.
I still call.
Yeah.
So I still, like, the last few Mondays, because I felt like I could, I called through all my leads.
Yeah.
And so now I have 3 people making calls. Um, the one thing that is a little odd though is, oh man, what was I going to say? It was important. It was about the appointment setter. Oh, yeah. Don't call me asking for her number. She will not pick up any more people. Yeah.
I'm not
Well,
sharing.
yeah. Well, no, that wasn't it. I was going to try and build, like, I was going to try and build a company at, for appointment setters, because she
Yeah.
does a great job. And she goes, "No, I'm with you. I'm at my max. I can't take any more people." I'm
Wow.
like, "What about you training, new people to come on and build a company?" And she said, "I have no desire to do that. I just want to be one person." And then her mom had some health issues, and then she really could not
Right.
pick up anybody else. So I know people are going, "Oh, how do you get one?" I don't know. I mean, I would imagine, someone like a cell phone salesperson, you see them in the malls,
Yeah.
someone like that would probably be good.
Telesales.
A waiter or waitress, something like that, because they're used to talking with people.
Yeah.
Um, it's something I've thought for a while. I could build a really big team, but I'm not picking up anything new now.
Yeah.
I'm
Your plate's
yeah,
full.
my plate's full. Yeah, I
Well, there.
actually have a deal with my wife that once our Texas properties, commercial properties sell, it's a 6 month. I can't start any new companies or anything. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what am I going to do?" She goes, "You're going to relax." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So yeah, the appointment setter thing, I'm really glad that happened.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. The other thing that you had mentioned there that I wanted to talk about for a minute was you had some deals, and you mentioned one that was a $700,000 deal that like looks like it's
Two.
going well and then falls through. Two of them,
Yeah.
and I think this is something agents could really benefit from getting a hold
Hmm.
of is the mindset that doesn't focus on the lost opportunities, because human nature is to look at that, and
Mhm.
we know what that commission is going to end up looking like, and you know what that opportunity cost is, and human nature is to look at that and kind of dwell on the lost opportunity. But it seems to me from the outside looking in, like, obviously you want to try and get those deals,
Mhm.
but it's kind of on to the next, right? It's like you can't let that
You
keep
have
you
to, yeah.
from continuing pressing forward. And so what is that? How do you
It
navigate that and try
does.
and do that?
You should always analyze it. Like, I know why I lost the $700,000 deal in Castle Rock. I mean, tripping over your cord, you just, no matter what, you just look like you're an idiot. And the other one, I don't know. I mean, he really wanted more of the actual protection of annuities that Texas and Wyoming could definitely offer, but Colorado doesn't have the protection like Texas and Wyoming does from lawsuits and collections. And then the two $500,000 deals, I don't know what happened there, because the rapport was so great. The product that they wanted was pretty much exactly. Well, I did also get a $400,000 deal that it was something she signed up with me, and then she said, no, I want to go with this other one. And we looked at it. She wanted guaranteed income for life. Both illustrations only went out 20 years. And
Hmm.
only 20 years for income. That was it. That
It
was
was like
the income
that's
stopped
crazy. It
after.
was period
And
certain.
once she saw that, she's like, okay, I'll go with you.
Wow.
And yeah, so, it's, yeah, you do. When I was in the jewelry business, I would get frustrated when I'd have big returns. Somebody would buy a $5,000 ring and then they return it. And I go to my boss and I'm just sitting there, God, it's so frustrating. And he just goes, eat big, crap big. And I'm like, okay, if you eat
Yeah.
big, you're going to crop big. And so when you have big deals that you normally work and a $700,000 deal falls through, that's because you work with people you can get that kind of deal with. And
Right.
sometimes something happens and it just doesn't work out. You
Right.
just got to move on.
That's really good. I've told agents before, when they're, a lot of times agents won't track their leads. They won't track the leads in. They won't
Mm-hmm.
track their appointments, their close rates, average case size. They just kind of
Mm-hmm.
feel it out, right? It's like, do I
Yeah.
feel like this lead company is working? And the problem with the
Mm-hmm.
feeling of, is this working or not working, without the
Yeah.
data, is that it leaves you to make bad decisions. Like, you might
Mm-hmm.
close one, two, three leads for a deal out of 10. But if
Mm-hmm.
you're only relying on how does this seem, mentally, you're going to think about the majority. Well, the majority of the
Absolutely.
leads are not going to end up writing business with you. But you don't need the majority of the leads to close. You need the minority of them to close. And that's what we build the business on, is that 15 to 30%. And
Yeah.
so if you
So
don't
to
track your numbers,
clarify
you won't
that,
know it.
the majority of leads you get, you're not going to close, but the majority of appointments you sit on, you should close.
You should close. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
And
Right.
it's important to recognize that, because sometimes you can't get in touch with them. You can't. And that's another thing you got to look at. When I have a steady lead flow in, which this year has been a massive challenge, I quit radio because I was literally on for 3 months and I would get one lead.
Yeah.
Maybe. It was just unreal. If anybody's successful at radio, please call me and let me know, because I can't figure it out. We've tried so many different ways. And I think right now the market just constantly keeps going up and up and up. And the interest rates are still decent for CDs. So, it's a hard lesson out there.
Right.
But we do know the market will fall. We just don't know when, and we don't know how much. It's got to. I
Yeah.
mean, the manipulation right now is brain damage thinking,
Yeah.
stocks, bonds, mutual funds, commodities, and crypto all following the same pattern.
Yep.
It
Well,
it's messed up.
I think we've entered a season where everything's on demand. I
Yeah.
mean, you don't have to wait until next Friday for the TV show to come out. It's out. You
Yeah.
just go watch it. You don't have to
Yeah.
wait for the FM station to play that song you want to hear. You just find it on the streaming service and you play it. And I think what
That's a
it's
good
done
point.
is it shifted the mentality of consumers away from listening to FM, AM,
Yeah.
those types of things, TV shows as they're airing, and more of the streaming side of things where everything is just at your fingertips. You get what you want when you want it.
One, people hate commercials.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's true. They don't
radio
want to be
always
sold
has
to.
commercials. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how they make their money. And so, I know all of ours, I'll pay an extra $1.99 a month to get no ads.
Right.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
So that's a good point.
Yeah.
So, yep, Chad's still alive. Hopefully you'll see a little more of me here. And Caleb still doesn't look any older. Happy birthday, man. Even though
Thank you.
he just had his birthday. He's still got, his 3 hairs on his chest, and he still
Don't give me too much credit.
Yeah, that's true. 2.5.
Yeah.
So, okay. So I hope this helps you guys. Of course, as always, happy selling.